It's time for the movie raid, and tonight's victim is Kiran Shah, stuntman and actor, has played in Legends, 1997 Titanic, Aliens, and countless other films. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. What about you?
I am peachy.
Great.
So what's going on, man?
Well, just the beginning of the new year, I'm having a relaxing time before I start working on any other projects now. Yeah, a few more days of relaxing and then see what happens.
Are you getting more acting jobs, or are you getting more of the stunts, or are you just basically bouncing it out?
Well, basically at the moment I'm getting quite a lot of acting work as well, especially with prosthetic, makeup and body puppets.
Oh, nice. Do you prefer between U.S. films, or do you prefer in your country?
I prefer working anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where I'm working. Most of the movies I do are American financed anywhere, but they can be anywhere in the world, so I don't mind working anywhere.
Do you actually get creative freedom with your characters or your stunts?
Well, with my characters, because of the prosthetic makeup or being inside a body puppet, I have quite a lot of say in what I'm going to do, what mannerisms or what the character personality is going to come out like. And from there, between the director and myself, I follow the director as much as I want. But at the beginning, when we talk about it, then I've got quite a lot of say about what the personality is going to be like, history, where is the character is coming from, and I can put all that in my creative process. And then once we start filming, I will, follow the director with his idea. Now and again, I'll put in my idea, and if you like it, we'll take it on. But yeah, at the beginning, I do get my creative process.
Yeah, sometimes it can be very difficult with that. Sometimes they don't get creative at all. They just tell you, okay, I want you to go here, and I want you to go here. And sometimes they don't get any input at all.
Well, this is the thing, but because when you're working in prosthetics, and because you're wearing a mask will dictate that different look will dictate what a lot of personality that will come through that, and because of that, a lot of directors are willing to buy your idea, and you can say, look, this is what I look like, and this is what I think I should be doing. And if you put it that way, then they're willing to listen to you, and that you have a little bit of your input in there.
Do you actually prefer the old school way, or do you like the new generation stuff?
Well, I do come from the old school way, so I would work like an old school way. But then I don't mind, because working with Peter Jackson and the new directors around here, or in States, or in anywhere in the world, I do tend to follow them. And you have to train. You can't get stuck in one way. If you don't train, then you're limiting yourself to new ideas.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it could be a distraction in some ways.
Well, the whole point about that is that you have to develop your skills as you move along. You should, as an actor, really keep your skills going all the time. In other words, you're always learning, and learning is the best way to carry on with your career.
For someone that's been in your shoes, someone that's been in the industry for so long, do you think there's still a lot more to learn and still a lot more to teach compared to the newer, younger faces that's happening now?
Yeah, well, like I said, there's so much to learn. You're always learning. Things are changing. Motion capture, when it started about 3 years ago, it was really new, and I had to learn about that, to work with motion capture stuff. And you move on, and the motion capture is moving really, really fast as well, and you have to keep up with the techniques, all that. So you have to keep moving, and you have to keep track of what's happening around. At the same time, yes, if there are new actors, new faces, you speak to them, and you do try to teach them, and it's best that you have to give and take all the time.
Yeah, and you just see the younger faces. I mean, there's some great young actors out there. They get a whole new, fresh box of them. But then you see these ones that's been in there for 30, 40 years kind of disappear in a way.
Exactly. The thing is, the younger generation are coming up with new ideas. They're all being taught much better during drama school, they were taught literally about film work. In the past, in Britain especially, it was more theatre-based rather than film-based or TV-based acting. And now people are concentrating that what you should do on films and on TV cameras. The young generation are, if you take people like James McAvoy and so many others, that they are doing really brilliant job in what they are doing because they've learned from the drama school about camera. They know everything about camera. When I started, we didn't know that much about camera. We were learning as we went along. But these people are taught, and they are really good at what they are doing. And there are at times when I look at them and I think, hey, I still got to learn a little bit more here now. But it's fun. That's the way you go.
Yeah, that's the way you go. You just got to keep going no matter what. It's ups and downs. It's always going to be like that.
Yeah, it's always going to be that. You have to keep moving. You have to keep up with what's happening. Cameras are changing. Now, Peter is trained the 3D was into 48 frames per second. So, you got to know about all that, and you know what's going to look good on screen or what's going to look bad on screen as an actor. From my point of view, that you should know what all these things are going to do to you as well.
Yeah, the film industry is rapidly going, but the thing is with films now, especially like action, it seems like they're going more and more shorter. Do you think it's just because they just want to get the product out there, or do you think it's just kind of getting a little bit too far-fetched?
I think it might be getting a little bit too processed at the moment, I think, because it's like at the moment, if you look at what's coming out, especially with all these action movies, they are trying to get them out there as quickly as they can, I think. But at the same time, the young directors are getting fantastic at their jobs, what they want. Some of the movies with CGI incorporated with everything else, looks really, really brilliant.
Yeah. But I mean, when you watch the live action films, it's like, wow, it's so rapidly fast. You can't even tell what's going on. I mean, there's explosions here, there's some shooting here, but you don't know exactly where this direction is going to, what part of who's doing what's the story the whole about, because it's so fast.
It has to be fast because remember the young generation of today have been brought up with a very fast life and all that, and to keep them interested, you have to really make things go fast in the sense that they will pay attention to what's happening on the screen. Otherwise, they're going to go, oh, well, we've seen it, we've been there before. We got to move on, and we got to keep up with the young generation of the future because everything, technology and everything is changing, moving fast and all that. So, all that has to really, really work.
Yeah, it definitely works in certain genres. I mean, like fantasy, there's a lot more fantasy, but it's more like toward the 3D era. But it's like all these are going out, bypassing as far as money goes, quicker than the actual film itself, because it seems the generations want to look at these type films more than, like, let's say the horror genre, and mainly for the fantasy and the drama.
Well, I mean, remember the thing about fantasy what's happening. When the young generation are going back into the old books like Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, and so many others around, there have been a lot of past writers who read really, really beautifully the way they produce their work. And something like Tolkien, if you want to do something like Tolkien, then you go have the right technology, right ideas, and right writers to, get the story going. Otherwise, people are going to lose the plot completely. These books are quite complicated in themselves as well. So, the whole idea is to, if you can't do it properly, if you can't follow the technology or keep up with the technology, then these movies are not going to work. Even the books, they are difficult to get them into the script form, because in the books there's so much there, and you got to think what I can put in and what I can get rid of.
Yeah, for the longest time, you can't squeeze an entire book into a film. It's just, you would have to be part by part by part.
Exactly. Tolkien books are difficult to do, and a lot of the past writers there's that when you start reading them and you think, yeah, this is going to be difficult because you have to really make use of the book as much as you can, and at the same time incorporate your technology, and that will make that movie work.
Yeah, as long as you read the book. If you don't read the book, I mean, it can be a little distracting between looking at the movie and looking at the book, because they do add a little bit more into the film version than, of course, the book.
Certainly, I mean, a lot of people read the book or audio, listen to audio books or whatever, and if once you read the book, then you know what's going to happen next or whatever. Or people are going to think, hold on, how the hell are they going to get that into the movie? And then, here comes along people like Ted Jackson, Lucas, Steven Spielberg, and all those people, and they are thinking hard. I mean, there's so many other directors who are really thinking hard, and they'll go, yeah, we can make that work, and we have got the technology. If we haven't got the technology, we'll wait for a few more years and we'll catch up with that.
You ever thought of doing some directing yourself?
I have directed 2 movies. One movie with my nephew called Still Living. He came second in the LA Festival, HD Festival, and after that, I got busy with my work. So we haven't done anything at the moment, but maybe in the future, may go back into directing with my nephew again.
Are you going to shoot mainly in your country?
Depends on what we are doing and where it will lead us. If we have to travel, we'll travel.
You prefer big budget or low budget as far as that goes? I know it's a balance, but sometimes low budget makes huge hits.
The good thing about the low budget is that you can really go to think all the time. You can be on your toes all the time because you've got time limits and you've got to think about your budget. And because of that, what happens is that the directors learn very quickly how to get around the problems and carry on working.
Yeah, I mean, even independent films actually make big bucks, but of course, it goes down to the writing and the directing, depending on how well it is, and as well as the marketing. The marketing becomes even more precious because if it's not marketable right, it's not getting anywhere.
Well, marketing is the main thing. I mean, without marketing, a lot of things won't get out there, and marketing is the way to get your work out there. Especially if you are going to starting your own projects, they're going to be low budgets. Then you got to be very good at marketing, or you got to be very creative in that area as well.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of actually teaching some of your stunt works?
I do now and again. I do a 5 hours straight lecture, not in stunts, but in universities around London that I go to, universities around London, and I teach them how to create a character and how to keep that character going, and what you got to put in, and how to layer your character with different things. And I get the students, I make it practical, so that means I get the students working with me to end up creating a character, and then at the end of the lecture do a little kind of scenario or scene, improvisation scene, and work out that if there are going to be about 12 15 actors on set, then what do you do? When do you take your time to sign in front of the camera and then move and give somebody else a chance, and all that stuff. I do that now and again.
Yeah. And for something like that, I mean, I could imagine how brutal it would be as far as the job goes. Because as far as acting goes, you think they should do some stunt work, even though they're not a stunt person? Do you think they should take that just as a precaution anyway?
It does help them if they get involved in stunts a little bit. Yeah, it does help them with their characters more, because then know that what a physical side of that will come into. But then a lot of young actors do go through that nowadays. I mean, on the Hobbit, on the Narnia, and all of those movies where actors were taught to do little stunts for themselves, and James McAvoy and everybody, did get involved in that, and they were like, yeah, it's helping. And it does help the actor to further his character.
Yeah, I think it's more helpful that way, besides just reading lines and then, of course, performing that character. And just like performing a character, make it believable if you're doing stunts instead of just, oh, okay, he's kind of just tripping everywhere rather than actually, doing, like jumping out of a window, for example.
Well, this is the whole point. Because, the young actors are more conscious about that as well, because they do get involved in that side of it, and they want to do the lot of stunts, but then, the director and the producers will go, no, sorry, you can't go up there and jump down or nothing like that, because you go institute the actor, and institute the people will get like, sorry, no, you can't do that. If anything happens, then we lost the movie. Well, but if they do the little stunts, and they learn, and they will get what the physical side can be like.
Well, go ahead and plug in anything that you want to share, any websites, any even past projects that you've completed that you want to promote, or anything like that.
Right, I've been working on the Hobbit. I've done all 3 Hobbit movies, and in the first Hobbit movie, I played the character of the scribe in the Goblin, and I did a few other couple of generic Goblin characters there as well. In the second movie, I was mostly a skill double for Bilbo, and I did stunts for the kids in that. And we are waiting for the third one. I can't talk about the third one that much. Just it. And I'm been involved. What else am I doing? I've got a couple of projects coming up that I can't really talk about. But the other movies I've done have been legends, like you said, Interview with Vampire, The Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe, and so many others out there. And if anybody wants to learn about me a little bit more, then they can go to my website, go Little Kiran, like LittleKiran.com, and they will be able to learn about myself. And if people want to join me on my Twitter, it's called @Kiran Shah. Yeah, you can get news and everything from me on that.
And there you go. That is Kiran Shah, actor, stuntman.